Hello, everybody. My name's Sydney. I'm a third-year vet student at the University of Missouri, and I just recently posted 2 videos over my 5 favorite and 5 least favorite classes of first year. So now it's time for me to do the same for second year. So starting off, I actually have one that's not like super vet med related, but nonetheless, it was still one of my favorite classes of second year. It's Foundations of Finance. So I might low-key be a little bit of a finance bro at heart, and I thoroughly enjoyed this class. So first, I do want to own my own clinic one day. So I think it's really important for me to understand finances, but I think it's really important, even if you don't want to own your own vet clinic, that you understand finances and that way you can control them and not let them control you. I think if you understand finances really well, that will allow you to negotiate better with your employer, anything like that. It'll just help set you up for success in the future. So really was one that I quite enjoyed. And going into it, I had sort of low expectations for it because I've taken finance classes in the past and I was kind of always let down by them, but I have to say I really enjoyed this professor. I thought she did a really good job, and I feel like it was a pretty beneficial and educational course. So the second class or classes that I have on my list is Clinical Pathology 1 and 2, and they were at different times, but I'm pairing them together because they were essentially the exact same thing. So I really enjoyed these classes because it definitely made me feel more like a doctor. We were learning a lot about diseases, how to diagnose them, clinical signs you would see with them, and then a little bit about some treatment for them as well. I also thought the labs were really fun because we took animals that were actually submitted to the clinical pathology lab, and then we got to go into the necropsy lab and see all these animals and diagnose them based on clinical findings that we saw. So I thought it was pretty fun to do that. I do not want to be a pathologist. It's actually far from being on my list of things that I would want to do, but I still thought it was really, really neat to go and do all that. And even though I don't actually want to be a veterinary pathologist, I still want to be knowledgeable enough to go and perform necropsies and then diagnose animals for at least simple things without having to send everything off to a pathologist for diagnosis. So I thought it was really fun and definitely one of my favorite classes of second year. And going along that path, the third class that I have is Clinical Pathology. I, again, enjoyed this class because it started to make me feel real doctor-ish. We did a urinalysis lab, blood smear labs. We did a lot of labs, and just the whole class was based around being able to understand and interpret chem panels and CBCs, things like that. Really taking your diagnostic tools and then being able to interpret them, and from that form a diagnosis. So I liked that a lot. And like I said, was definitely one where I was I can see this benefiting me and it's making me feel like a real doctor. The next class that I have on my list is Soft Tissue Surgery. I liked this one because we were learning about surgical techniques and suturing. We were actually going into lab and practicing suturing skills. I will say I have kind of changed my opinion on this class. I think it definitely could have been done better and differently. While I was going through it at the time, I was I enjoy this because I enjoyed the suturing practice, but I still think things could have been changed and done better for this class. So it took me going through this new surgery class that I'm in to really understand that I don't think things were laid out super well, but nonetheless, it still wasn't a class that I hated. It was something that I enjoyed at the time, but just looking back now, I think it could have been done a little bit better. The last class that I have on my top 5 favorite list is Companion Animal Medicine. So I liked this class because we did a whole lot of hands-on labs. We did dental radiograph lab, dental extraction lab. We also did placing urinary catheters, doing fine needle aspirates, ophthalmology exams, and then the last one we did was learning how to do cystocentesis. We also did like rectal palpation. So a whole lot of things that we did, a whole lot of like hands-on things that we did in this lab. We also did canine physical exams. So I really liked this class solely for the labs, and it was a whole lot of just like learning a little bit about everything. So I think that's all 5 of my favorite classes from second year. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.